This is Perspectivas Latinas, a community service of CAN TV. I'm Juan Carlos Hernandez. Today our guest is Constantina Mizis from the Latino Alzheimer's Alliance. She is here to discuss the particular issues the Latino community faces with this disease and how her organization responds to it. Welcome.
Thank you for the invitation.
No, thank you for coming out. And well, I said Alzheimer's disease, but in fact, it's more than Alzheimer's that you're working with at your organization, correct?
That's correct.
Mm-hmm.
And this is because, especially in the Latino community, the impact that impact goes directly to the caregivers. And in our community, the caregivers are the relatives, the family relatives.
Okay. Well, let's start by talking about what is Alzheimer's, or what are these memory disorders, because I think those are terms that are used frequently in the media. We see it and we hear about it, but I don't think a lot of us, including myself, have a good understanding of what Alzheimer's and other memory disorders are. Let's start with Alzheimer's. Mm-hmm.
Let's start with Alzheimer's. Alzheimer's disease is an illness that we find more frequently in people older than 75 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And now we live longer.
Okay.
So I hear from many people saying that this is a new disease and this is a disease that just come in. And no, it's actually because we live longer and we see this disease more often. Mm-hmm. And this disease, unfortunately, is about forgetting our recent memories in the beginning.
Okay.
So the first stage is forgetting recent memories. Let's say, what did I have for dinner yesterday? Mm-hmm. Where I was this morning. If you come in and you say hello 5-6 times, mm-hmm. and you again saying hello, then you have a problem of memory. And we don't have a cure. Still,
there's
don't
no
have
cure
a cure.
for Alzheimer's.
There is no cure.
So that's that's the first symptom. You start having memory loss of short-term memory. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And in the Alzheimer's disease, we don't have a specific formally 5 symptoms, 10 symptoms, 15 symptoms. No, everybody is different. So like I said, maybe repetitions. Mm-hmm. We can see that the person is repeating the same thing, or maybe change in moods. Let's say we have somebody that has been very active in his life or her life, and right now this person is with some of depression or even a little more violence. So yes, change in mood. So we take time to find out the diagnostic.
Okay, so it's change in mood, and then first symptoms, short-term memory loss, and then what other symptoms? Because, well, I asked you about what the disease is, and it's memory loss, right? And usually people 75 years or older, right?
Yes.
Can people have it when they're younger than 75?
We have cases. Actually, here in Chicago, in the Latino community, unfortunately, we have somebody that was diagnosed with Alzheimer's at 35 years old.
35 years of age.
35 years old, and this was a man who has 2 little girls and his wife, and he started fighting for the toys with her daughters, because of course he was living in his early
memories.
years.
Oh,
right.
wow.
Right. So it was a case, and exceptional case, but yes.
Yes, it's not just, then it's a disease that tends to affect older people,
Yes.
But it is not just older people. It can happen when you're younger.
This is a person that we know here in Chicago that was most young.
Okay. And, well, you told me a couple of the symptoms, okay? What other symptoms exist for...
Well, many people believe that because we forget where are the keys regularly, or where is my purse, where do I put my glasses, then we have a memory problem. No. We have to,
okay,
to learn
because sometimes
about
people
yes,
like
we have to learn about the difference, okay? So let's say, and this is part of the first symptoms, I don't know where is my purse. If I find my purse on the table, there's nothing to worry about it.
Okay.
But if I find my purse in the shower, then we have a problem there.
Okay.
If I find my shoes in the refrigerator, I have a problem.
Okay.
So it's actually places, location, and if you know, Chicago weather and snowing outside, and I'm going out with my shorts and T-shirt. So those are some details that we have to pay more attention. And in the Latino community, we observe many times that the people with memory problems, they start by saying whoever live in the same house, that they were stolen their money. So where's my money? You stole my money. You have my money. And then we find in these houses that the money is hiding somewhere.
Okay.
And they actually forgot that they already hide their money.
Okay, so it starts with that. That's another symptom. It's this placing things in the wrong place, right?
In the wrong place, right? In a place where it's
It
really
it does not belong
doesn't
at all.
supposed to be.
Yeah, like shoes in the refrigerator.
Right.
And money. Those are the symptoms. What other symptoms exist, or are there more, or is that just at a place where the person is now severely handicapped by the disease, or how else can we tell?
Those are the basic symptoms, okay? Now, if you're asking me about physical symptoms, no, are actually risk factors. Like we see this illness more in people who were or are suffering from diabetes, from cholesterol,
Okay.
or from high blood pressure. We see this more, but those are no symptoms. Those are
Okay.
risk factors.
Risk factors. So if you're diabetic, you have a high blood pressure, or
Cholesterol.
if you have high cholesterol, your risk for having Alzheimer's disease increases.
That's what we have right now. That's what we know right now. Okay. Obesity affects too.
Obesity too.
Obesity too, but there's obesity, cholesterol, diabetes is like the start of many other illnesses that affect us.
Okay, so yeah, because people, well, at least I've heard from people, and just from talking to people about Alzheimer's, it's like, what if I'm not sleeping well? If I have a lot of insomnia, what if I'm under a lot of stress? What if these things are, I'm going through all this, or I went through this kind of stuff when I was a little younger, but I'm fine now. Is that going to lead me to having Alzheimer's?
No.
No.
And there is a very good question, because there's a lot of confusion on this. This is what happened. We can have or suffering from memory loss if we are under stress, if we do not sleep well, if we have a thyroid problem, if we have some vitamins that we needed, then we're going to have memory problems.
Okay.
But all those memory problems can be fixed, or can be we can be fine after we fix all those problems with the sleeping and eating and stress. But Alzheimer's, there is no way back.
There's no way back.
There's no way back. So it's really different. So that if we don't sleep well, if we are under stress, of course we will forget things. But that doesn't mean we have Alzheimer's. It's totally different.
And it may not lead necessarily to Alzheimer's, is what you're saying.
Absolutely. At this point, no.
Okay. Alzheimer's, do we know exactly what causes it? Although there are risk factors, like you said, like diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol. But do we really know what kicks it off in somebody's body?
No.
No.
We still don't know, but we have some other very interesting data. And I have to talk about the Latino community, because it's a community where we're
right. Yeah, but I wanted to talk about the disease in general, so we could have. Then we could talk about the issues with the Latino community.
Absolutely. No, but there's some data. For example, we live longer with the illness compared to no Latino person.
Okay, so if we contract or get Alzheimer's disease, then we tend to live longer with it. Why?
Okay, this
what
is what
explains
is
that?
happening, and I always say that I have a good news and bad news for the Latino community. And the bad news is that we are in more risk.
We're at more risk.
Latino community is highest risk, and African American community too. And the good news is that if you are non-Latino, you are diagnostic on the same time that I am, and I am Latina, and we were diagnostic the same day, the same year, probably the Latino person will be living longer than the white population. And this is the science people believe that it's nothing proved, but they highly believe is because the social factor. We talk more.
We talk more. The social factor.
Absolutely. We like to talk. We like to have long conversation after dinners. We like to talk with the neighbors. We know who our the neighbors are. We like to talk by the phone with the cousins and compadre and comadre and everybody. So the social factor plays a really important role. And then we have the other situation where we do not used to leave our seniors in senior centers or nursings. So what we're doing is we keep our seniors in our houses. So that continuing everyday social contact with the person makes that in some way the illness start going a little more slow.
Okay, so wow, it's incredible to hear that the impact of a disease can be diminished in some sense by the group of people that are working with this ill individual.
Right.
Now, for these families, and that in the research that I did do for this show is, I've learned that it's very difficult for the family and for the caretakers to keep this person, to help this person, to care for them through the time that they have the disease. How do you help through Latino Alzheimer's Alliance help these families and these caretakers actually deal with those issues?
Like I said before, the impact goes straight to the caregivers, where are the family relatives in our community. So first of all, what we offer is we offer education and awareness. And the second, and maybe is more important, is that we encourage and let the people know, the caregivers know, that it's very important to take care of them, not of the patient.
Okay.
Because the patient is already taking care from their doctors, okay? Now, we're very concerned about the families because the caregivers start developing stress, start developing depression because the burden of care, and then they start developing feeling isolation, and then we're gonna start with health problems in the caregivers. So if we have one person at home with Alzheimer's who is a very, very serious health problem, then we're gonna have 3, 4 more people at home that are having health problems just for the caring aspect.
Okay, so what you're saying is you start by educating people, but more important than that, you're telling people you need to take care of yourself.
They need to take care of themselves because they can. I always say, if you don't take care of yourself, maybe you're gonna live before your loved ones. You know what I mean? So, and then when they taking care of themselves, and then start delegating responsibilities in the family, and then we start providing them resources. What resources really they need? Do they need a support group, attend a support group, or do they need a social worker to talk to them, or do they need some even physical screening, physical test, and they don't know where to go. I have a family where the daughter have 5 years without going to the doctor.
5 years.
5 years. And when
Wow.
she finally went to the doctor, she has a number of things that she didn't expect, that she was already anemic, diabetic, and just because she was focused on taking care of her mother during those 5 years.
Wow. And so what happened to this woman after she found out all these things? Did you support her and say, you need to make a schedule? What did you recommend?
She is right now one of our leaders in the support group.
Okay.
And she helped us a lot by talking to the rest of the families on what do they have to do. So what we're doing also is when the caregivers they are prepared, they start helping other caregivers, which is great, because we start spreading more the word and education and outreach about this unfortunate illness.
Wow. So that's awesome to hear. And how big are these support groups, and how often do they meet? Do you oversee that as well?
Here in Chicago, we meet in Casa Maravilla.
Where is Casa Maravilla?
Casa Maravilla is in 2021 South Morgan Street.
Okay.
2021 South Morgan Street in Chicago, by Alivio Clinic.
Okay, in Pilsen.
In Pilsen. And we meet there the second and fourth Saturday of the month. Every second and every fourth Saturday of the month from 10 to noon.
How many people come out?
Well, we have right now we have around 20, 25, but it's the support group. Sometimes they go the sisters, sometimes the children, sometimes the wife or husband, so you don't see the same people many times, but you see the same families.
Okay.
But
different individuals from those families.
Right, right. That's how it works. And then sometimes they don't have. They said, "Well, I don't have nobody who can take care of my father while I'm here," so they can take their loved ones there.
Oh, they can.
Yes, they can.
Wow, and that's a crucial part of the work that you do. But you said you start off by educating people about the disease.
Yes.
What exactly do you have? Do you have classes? Do you have workshops?
We have workshops during the year.
For anybody? Are these open
Absolutely,
to any?
because maybe sometimes in our community we have very close friends that there are no family relatives, but are like a family. So they want to help and they want to learn more about it. So yes, we have during the year we have workshops. We have it in Sinai Hospital. We have it in Loyola. We have it in Alivio Medical Center. We have it in other organizations, non-for-profit organizations around Chicago. And during these workshops, people can interact and learn about the illness from a professional, from neurologists. We are so fortunate. We have a Latino neurologist who is the director of Loyola. And well, the audience can be educated and also share their testimonies. So when we have families who already pass all the stages, they are there to share their testimonies. So the people feel more comfortable and confident about what they would like to ask and what are their exactly needs.
Okay, and this is done in one session, or it's several sessions where people come in and learn about Alzheimer's and other memory disorders?
This isn't, every single workshop has a different topic.
Okay. And they're held throughout the year, or?
Yes, throughout the year. And it has a different topic because sometimes we also talk about hospice. In the Latino community, we do not know what is hospice until we need it. And the word hospice, hospicio, in Spanish means something else, completely different.
Yeah.
And so we have this misunderstanding of some words, terminology, and cultural issues a lot. So we have to talk about different topics during the year.
Wow. And how many people how do we sign up for these workshops, and how many people do you offer it to throughout the year? Is it
Actually, every workshop is between
mhm.
300 and 500 people.
That's pretty big.
That's pretty big.
Mhm.
If we want something really small, we can go to the support groups, which
Okay.
is more personalized.
Mhm.
So we have those two. But we have the memory screens in Spanish also during the National Memory Screening Day in November. So there are several events and activities during the year, and are announced not only in the media, local newspaper, etc., but also in the organization or hospital where the event will be.
Okay. And what are memory screenings?
What? I'm sorry?
Yeah, what's a memory screening?
What is a memory screen? Okay, I will say for the Latino community, a memory screening is a tool of education, because we won't get a diagnostic for a memory screening at all. To have a diagnostic, we have to do a numbers of screenings before the doctor will provide a diagnostic. A memory screening is an oral and writing test. And this test is, for example, one of the tests is 30 scores. So if you answer 30, 29, you're fine. Then if we see that you answer 20, then we recommend the person or the family to talk to your primary doctor. And after you talk to your primary doctor, the doctor will direct you or refer you on regards your needs. Because like I said, we have to go back a little bit and say, okay, well, maybe you forgot this because you didn't sleep the whole night yesterday. Okay? So, but actually what we do with the memory screening is we want the people to know that exist, and we want the people to do not be alarmed and recognize what's normal and what is not. So
Okay.
what we recommend is you do a memory screen every year or every other year, and you keep your score with you.
Okay.
And if you see that one day the score is not what you're expecting, then you go to your doctor.
Okay, and you mentioned primary care physician, and
Yes.
I'm curious, a lot of people are undocumented in our
Yes.
community. What can they do if they're afraid or suspect that somebody in their family might have the disease, and they don't have health insurance or don't have a primary care physician necessarily that they've been with for a number of years?
Yes, we have some clinics that we partner with, and they provide help. But first of all, they have to come to us and talk to us about exactly their situation.
Okay.
Most of the time, maybe the children are undocumented, but not the seniors. Most of the time.
Okay.
And actually, there are many benefits that the children do not know that their parents have those benefits.
Okay, okay, that's good to hear. Well, we are getting close to the end of the show, and I do want to talk about the organization and your big event you have every fall, right? Well, you have the workshops, and you also have the support groups during the entire calendar year. But every fall you have an event. Tell us about what you've done and who you invite and who comes out to it. It's your fundraiser, right?
It's our annual fundraising, and it's actually not a normal fundraising. So it's made by the grandchildren. They organize an event.
The grandchildren of
the people affected.
By
yes,
Alzheimer's.
and yes, they are young people, teenagers. Maybe they are in college already. So we have an event that also we can remember our values and traditions. So this year we have Navidades Mexicanas, Mexican Christmas, and this is the topic of our annual fundraising event, so people can enjoy Mexican Christmas tradition inside the event. I'm talking about food, I'm talking about Mexican art, craft, I'm talking about music,
Okay.
and all those traditions that we are missing a lot.
Okay, and every year it changes the
Every
chapter?
year it changes. We already have el rebozo, we already have el tequila, so
okay.
every year is changing.
Wow, wow. It sounds like you have a whole lot of work and a whole lot of people to actually help guide. Thank you for coming today and sharing just a bit. And if people are curious, they can contact you, right?
Absolutely, please. And thank you so much for inviting me.
And to you, our audience, thank you for joining us. Perspectivas Latinas is a community service of CAN TV. If your nonprofit organization would like to work with CAN TV, call 312-738-1400 and ask for nonprofit services. Tune in to Perspectivas Latinas for local issues and concerns every Thursday at 8:30 p.m. on CAN TV 21. I'm Juan Carlos Hernandez. Thank you for joining us.